Okay, we're back live here. Thank you for rejoining us. We're going to take this quick phone call real quick, and then we're going to get right back into what we were talking about. Good evening.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. I'm listening. Charles, it's Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, I must be on the wrong station then. I will call Charles and ask where you at.
Okay.
You on cable 18?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna tell him the wrong station. All right.
Okay. We got several stations, and people get
Oh,
a little
okay.
confused if he wants to see the other.
Okay, did you want to try another one, or did you?
We'll wait. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
Let's get talk.
So, we were talking about guardianship.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that needs to come into question here, which when Charles is able to, is to be able to find out what happened to his wife
Mm-hmm.
and if she was put into a guardianship or anything like that. But what happens and what the scheme of the guardianship is, the judge takes a party, somebody that, say maybe it's the nursing home, a neighbor, a lawyer. They've gone in to do their wills and whatnot. They see how much money is there. They
Mhm.
know there's money. There's always money. And usually it's $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And you would be surprised at how many people that are elderly have that much money that never talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So then you think, okay, well, they're going to go into a guardianship. You have family members, but they haven't done anything. They haven't gotten a will together. They haven't done a power of attorney. They haven't done directive for their health care, anything like that. So now the judge is going to make all those decisions. And he may call in a hearing, he may not, and have the family, and he'll say, ask the family a question, and then he'll decide that the family isn't getting along. Now, I don't know any family that does get along 100%,
Mm-hmm.
but he'll decide one of the kids are taking advantage of them or whatever. So now he's going to choose his guardians. And there are two guardians. There's a guardian of person and a guardian of finance. And they can be one person or they can be two people. Now you've lost your loved one, every penny you have, because the judge is never going to let that person go until they're dead. And once they start running out of money, they're going to be put into a skilled portion of the health care, whatever it takes to run all the money down, so that either if the nursing home does fundraising, all of a sudden one room will cost $12,000 a month.
Hmm.
So the fundraising they get, they're taking $12,000 and feeding them unhealthy food, not allowing them to go to doctors. They're also taking the rights of their loved ones to come and visit them.
Well, we've seen that recently.
And they marginalize them. And this is, it's a scheme that the attorneys and the judges have figured out. And we don't know if with the houses that they take, if they're being sold to friends, they're never sold really at market value. They're, it just goes on and on. And then even getting an accounting of what's going on. And then you say, okay, this is wrong. Where do I go for help?
Mm.
Well, we've got the chickens basically guarding the chicken house. So it's almost like we were talking about earlier with our judges. Okay, you have a problem with the judge. The judge says this. You file a report. Where do you file a report? It's the jerk. Well, Judicial Inquiry Committee.
Mm.
Well, they'll tell you right on the phone they're not going to do anything. But, you send your complaint in thinking, nah, that's not really true. The next day, they send you a letter stating basically they're not going to do anything.
I filed one. They didn't even send me a letter. They did nothing.
So I did a 15-year study on them.
Yeah.
And they don't follow through on any of them. You may get 1, 2, or 3 where they investigate, but nothing ever comes out of it. And then once a year or twice a year, the courts of justice has a meeting where you can go and they have the judges come in if their term is up or not. And you have people all across the state of Virginia. Some of them will show up, some of them won't. But because they're afraid to stand up and talk out against the judges.
Well, one thing I want to bring up right now, because I've been talking about this for years, and I just can't understand why I can't get off the ground. But this is going to be the opportunity to do it. We're only one of 2 states that our legislators elect the judges.
Well, actually, you go to the community, and the community bar has something to do with it, and then it goes to the Virginia State Bar, and then it goes into the legislature. Now, remember, every single one of those people in the legislature practices law in front of these judges.
That's right.
And they all win when they go in front of the judge, as long as they keep him in tow and keep him happy.
I mean, to me, I don't see how that's legal. I got a friend, Bill Stanley, who is senator, and I asked him one time, I said, Bill, good gosh, how in the world could this be that, and he's on the Judiciary Committee. That's why I always get him as an attorney.
Right.
People say, well, how do you get into court and win all the time? Well, there you know the secret. I said, Bill, that's not right. He said, what do you mean? I said, everywhere else in the country, other than us, and I don't know the other state, but I did research.
I don't either. I meant to look it up.
I did too, but I did. But I said, wait a minute here. He said, well, Bob, he said, no, this is a good system here. He said, now imagine, he said, let's say you had $100,000 and you wanted to make that to the campaign of your judge of your choice. Imagine what that'd be like. Well, I thought about that, but that's easy to remedy. You limit the amount of money that one person can give a candidate.
Well, we also have a thing called the judicial canons. There are only 6 rules.
I've read them.
All the judges have to do is follow 6 rules.
I've read them.
And the appearance of justice is just as important as justice itself.
That's right.
And when we look at Charles Davis's thing, we can see there is no justice here. When we look at these other stories you tell, there's no justice, there's nowhere to go for help. And it's because, like I said, we've got the hens watching the chicken house, basically they police themselves. They all police themselves. When you look into it, and in some ways, you have
What is it?
a commercial break.
Okay. I mean, I've never seen that before. Two-handed. Almost like that. Stay with us,
Okay.
folks. Got to take a break. We'll be right back.